Morning, Tonk here. I've got another Tonk's tips, but it's not really a tip. It's just today I'm just putting a fan. I got to order it, but I just had to pull it apart and test. I got this is a bought this about 4 years ago. A Gecko. Unashamedly, I bought it online. $540 delivered. 68 litre fridge, 27 litre freezer in the top, works brilliantly. Like I said, I had it 4 years. Anyway, what I'm noticing, like a lot of them, this plate in here freezes. This is what gets cold, and out here in the door, when this is full, you know, we put there's a this goes in here like so, in there. This sits on top of it. And that sits in there like that, and that's your crisper, and that'll take a nice sized lettuce, half a dozen or 6 or 8 tomatoes, and a couple of cucumbers in there. It's a beautiful sized crisper for our family. We get, you know, a few days out of that, or if I'm away by myself, I get nearly 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks out of that for a fresh stuff. Anyway, what I've noticed, and then the stuff in the door, if you've got milk or anything over here, it's just not quite cold enough. So I tested this with the voltmeter when it's running, and this is about 9 volts. It's not 6, it's not 12, so she's in Brumbury in between. It's got this it's got a light in it when you open the door, and it works off this pressure switch in the bottom. Then you shut the door, it turns it off. So what I'm going to do, I got online, and I found one overseas on eBay, a little fridge. Hopefully it's only about a 4-inch fan, covered in fan, 9 volter, made for inside fridges. It's about $18, $20. Yeah, so I had to take this off. That's your thermostat and the power coming through on this particular model. I don't know what it's just got a C-Corp compressor in it, like they all have. Sucks about 6 or 7 amps of power when it's running, because don't forget it's running that freezer as well. And this freezer is brilliant, because I turn it up to about 4 or 5, and she will keep ice cream. A lot of them won't. That little beauty there, we can fit, for the 6 of us, we can fit, I don't know, a good week or 10 days. Might even be a fortnight of frozen meals in there when we're travelling. And fresh stuff we got if you're buying stuff. Anyway, get back to the story. I just got to get this fan, wire it in. There's your earth, your positive. I'll have the fan running permanently, and then I'll mount this back in so that the light turns off, but the little fan's running in there on the 9 volt. Like I said, just need a voltmeter. And it tested it with it running, and yeah, I'll put all that cover back on. See where I've put Sikaflex around it, because on the corrugated roads, all this sort of stuff in these fridges falls to bits. So you put a bit of Sika on them, and it holds them in position. It works really well. Oh, there's a little screw there that I didn't know. That wouldn't have helped either. I ripped her out. Okay, so yes, that pops out. That one pops out there, and that screw's in there. Oh, this will make it heaps easier when I put it back together. I didn't realise that screw was there. Anyway, she got a bit of... Then there's another one up there that this slides in. She will go back a lot better, and I'll cut all this off, that bit of Sikaflex and that off when I put it back together. Anyway, this might be... I got to wait for the part to come. It's about... Well, it's $20. If I order it and it doesn't turn up, I'll try and get something here. I'll get on the JCar site or overseas, and I'll have a look around and see if I can get one. So I'm willing to pay. And this one doesn't suffer. Because see, look, in here you mightn't see, but a lot of them, this freezes up, and that's it. But this one, it freezes and unfreezes, and there's a little drain hole here. It goes down, and that leaks. Then I think it drains out, either out the back or on top of the motor like a house fridge, and keeps it cool. Plus on this one, I mightn't have showed you, I probably have showed you. I put the fan on the back. And then I put heavier cable in there, and everything in the back of this fridge, where anything can vibrate, I've Sikaflexed it the stuff. And that just blows a bit of cool air over the bloody compressor motor and everything, and just helps it out. All right, you won't see me till I'm putting it back together and I get the bits, and I'll show you. Cheeky bugger, battery went flat. The old GoPro. Oh, if I had the money, we think we bought it in 2018 or 17 or something like that. If I didn't need this camera, it would get this. I would lay it on the concrete and I'd hit it with that and smash it, and I would have the best day. Because the amount of footage, and you're trying to do a YouTube channel of that, this thing has buggered up on me. Anyway, lucky I'm not a violent bloke, but you get the idea. Anyway, like I said, that little fan's got to go on there. I mean, I didn't see it shut off. This fan's getting buggered. It's a 3,000 or 3,500 RPM fan, and it really, it's the noisiest thing in the camp. It's nearly noisier than the generator, that thing. So I'll put this fan. This is an old fridge I bought years ago. I got about 6, 7, 8 years out of it, and it just stopped. But I put that little fan on. I pulled that off and put it on. Yeah, I've got a few reviews coming up. Our lithium batteries are coming up to 2 years old. Our little freezer. This thing's 4 years old. And I'll do a bit of a review on them all. And once I finish this. All right, catch you later. Oh, sorry. Catch you later, and I'll be back and finish this off. We've got a few big storms coming over the next few days, so hopefully they don't smash us to bits. All right. Yeah. Okay. Catch us. Morning, guys. Tonk here again. My fan that I ordered from, I tried it from China. Sorry, I'll keep going with what I was talking about. The fan, I tried to buy a fridge fan that goes inside the fridge to move the cold air around here in Australia. JCar and one of them, they didn't sell them because this fridge is 9 volt. Where I'm getting the power source from. So I got one from on the net, as you see. You'll see it there, sorry. You got no way, only trouble with a lot of these things when you order them, you got no way of telling what size they are. And I thought it was about 40 mil. Turns out it's 100 mil. So I've got to try and sort of mount it here, in there like that, I think. Or there. So then cut a few slots in this. It's slotted a bit. It's going to be messy because, you know me, I love Sikaflex. Sikaflex is my middle name. So I'll drill a few holes around that. It's only got to have, and what happens, see the blade stick up? I'm going to hook it up and see if it actually works. Then I might have to get the angle grinder and cutting disc and just trim a bit off these blades. Just so they don't touch. Or I've got to put a guard over it. But I've got no way of putting it in there, really. I could just stick it just there and have it stick so it's not... I might even do that yet. I might just sit it there, but then you'll be poking things into it. And if I could put it up high, it'd be better because I don't stack a lot of things up in the fridge real high. Anyway, that whole back plate gets cold. So yeah, it's a shame it's not only 40 mil. And anyway, I've just cut this plug off and plug the fridge in and see what power it is. I gotta leave that one. I think I got to splice into that, into this, and into that one. So I'll do that and switch her on. Okay, well, I had to cut the fan down so it was sitting lower, which is a pain in the bum. Then I drilled a couple of holes in here so it'll suck a bit of air in. Doesn't need a lot of air, this fan's just too big, but I'm just using it. Now I've got to solder a little bit of wire join in there to come to this switch so it's longer, as it's too short and too tight. So I'll solder a bit in there, and then I'll solder that in there at the same time, and then this I've got to solder a little bit more back onto this one and that one to lengthen that wire as well, as they're very short. And then I'm just going to Sikaflex this one just straight in there, standing up, probably just like that. Just sit him there so he can suck a bit of air and move it around the fridge there. Just sit him in there. Yeah, all right, I'll do that and put it all back together. But you know, for 18 or 20 bucks delivered, you can't whinge, and it's the right voltage. I had to have 9 volts. Where I'm getting my power from is 9 volts. And that was the only one I seen that was 9 volts. All right, I'll keep chipping away. I just got the old Weller soldering iron heating up there. I'll solder those couple of bits of wire in. I'll switch it back on when I got everything in place. But that's the idea of it. Like I said, ideally it would have been lovely to get half that size. But yeah, a bit restricted when it's 9 volt. All right, thank you. Well, she's in there. I've got all this back together, soldered it all up. Switch her on. There you go. She's away, and then that turns off when you shut the door. So that comes on when you open the door. So that's all good. And I just pulled it off the wall a little, 4 or 5 mil, so I can suck air. It's got a little bit of air movement in there. Won't take much. I can feel it here. So yeah. So yeah. She's wild, but she's tonk proof. That's all that matters. I might just put a little bit on that top corner, stop her vibrating. But when that goes off, it won't, but I will do it anyway, just to hold her. All right. I don't know if you learnt anything out of that, but the main thing is just recapping is get your power wires where they're coming from, test them with the voltmeter so you know what voltage are, and then buy your fan according to the volts. So if you put a 12 volt fan in there, it wouldn't do much. You put a 6 volt fan in there and she'd scream her head off. She might end up shorting out. But I got the 9 volts. It was 8.7 volts actually, or something like that. Started at 9, and then when it come back, it come witches. And then when that light goes out, it's perfect. You don't want them too much because it the compressor won't run because it's drawing too much power away. So I'll see whether that makes all the. What was troubling is the drinks in anything in here, the milk or anything wasn't getting cold enough. So that little bit of circulation, hopefully, will help out good. Oh yeah, she's starting to get cold in there. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next step.